Welcome back to another episode of the Azure Enablement Show. Today, we are going to talk about the Azure Savings Plan for Compute and how this can help customers to save money for their compute services, especially when you compare it to the pay-as-you-go pricing. Welcome back. My name is Thomas, and I'm here with Kyle to talk about the Azure Savings Plan for Compute and how this can help save you money for your compute services. Now, we have a ton of different offerings when it comes to compute offerings like spot VMs, reservations, and many more, which help our customers to be more efficient when it comes to pricing. However, we recognize that there we can do more to make sure that you can optimize your costs, right? And so I'm excited to have Kyle with me today, who will talk about the Azure Savings Plan for Compute. So Kyle, first of all, great to have you. And secondly, can you tell me or us what the Azure Savings Plan for Compute is?
Yeah, Thomas, happy to be on the show, and thank you so much for having me. Like I said, I'm very excited to talk about the Azure Savings Plans for Compute. It's the latest offering that Microsoft has for our customers to help grow their cloud consumption while being cost optimized. Savings Plans for Compute is the new savings plans where customers can commit to an hourly commitment, let's say $5 an hour for 1 or 3 years. And up to that $5 an hour, customers will get a reduced savings plan price versus pay as you go on their select compute services.
Oh, that's fantastic. So if I'm a customer and I know that I actually commit to run compute services in Azure, this will definitely help me. So can you tell me a little bit more how this will actually help me and what the benefits are of the savings plan?
Yeah, definitely. There's a few benefits that come with the Azure Savings Plans for Compute. One is what we just talked about. You're going to save significantly versus pay-as-you-go prices on these select compute services. The second one is that the savings are automatically applied to your compute environment. The way it works is that savings plans is going to look at a customer's entire compute environment and identify what services it can be applied to and make sure the customer gets the highest savings with the savings plans. So an example would be if a customer had a VM running and with savings plans, they would get a 5% savings, and they had another VM and they would get a 20% savings. Savings plans are going to apply to the VM. That's going to give them the 20% savings because the customer is going to save more money that way. Also, with the flexibility of savings plans, because you're not tied down to a specific instance series, a region, or operating system, customers can modernize their workloads, adapt their compute environments to their business needs without having to worry about their savings plans being impacted. And the last benefit that comes with savings plans is the flexibility on how you want it to be applied to your environment. With savings plans, you can choose the billing frequency, the hourly commitment, where it can be applied to, and the term length. And we'll go into a little bit more details on those in the demo we have coming up.
Oh, this is fantastic. So absolutely, I love that we give the customer the flexibility when it comes to these savings, right? It's not that he needs to think in advance, what do I need over the next couple of years? He gets really the benefit, and we're really making sure that he gets the most out of it, right? Like we don't want him to manage something more just to save even more costs. And secondly, what I also like what you just mentioned is like how we can, like, if you're in charge of managing this, to like assign it to like different management groups and resource groups and so on. So we're going to have a look at that, as you just mentioned, in just a bit. So that's absolutely fantastic. So now how does that actually work?
Yeah, let's say for an example that you purchase a savings plans for 1 year for $5 an hour. If your usage is below or at the $5 per hour commitment, you're going to be billed at the lower prices. Note that you're going to be billed $5 an hour regardless of your usage. If if for an hour that your usage is above the $5 hour commitment, you're going to get billed pay as you go pricing on a separate line item.
Okay. No, that sounds pretty simple. Can you show me how we can get started with Azure Savings Plans for Compute?
Yes, definitely. So in your Azure portal, you can go to your cost management and billing section. And here, if you scroll down to the products and services, you're going to see savings plans come up on the left. You click on that. And then here in our environment here, we have one that's already purchased. But if you wanted to purchase a brand new one, you go to add, And then you'll be prompted with the questions that I refer to below, giving you the flexibility to see how this is going to be built in your environment. So you can change the name of the savings plan, the billing subscription you want it to be applied to, but then also here you can choose at what level do you want the savings plan to be applied to. Do you want it to go across the entire billing scope, only one specific subscription, a resource group, or a management group? Again, we want customers to have the flexibility to get the most benefits out of the savings plan. The next option you'll be prompted to is the term length, 1 or 3 years. And then here you can choose the hourly commitment. And then the billing frequency, you can choose all upfront or monthly at no extra cost. Once you decide what you want to do, you go to next review and buy. You get a overall review summary of what you purchased or what you selected, and then click buy now, and it'll automatically start applying to your environment.
Well, that's super cool, and it looks like it's like super easy to set up the savings plan for an environment. So once I set these up, how can I see the current utilization and how can I see how I'm doing basically in my environment?
That's a great question. So if we go back out to the cost management and billing, and we go to the savings plan section, as I mentioned before, we have a purchase savings plans already for this environment. You click on the one that you've purchased. You can have multiple savings plans, but click on the one you want to review. And down here, you'll see your utilization over time. And then there's a chart that you can see what the utilization has been over the past seven days, 1 month, 3 months, or you can customize it. So this is a great way to monitor and make sure that you're getting the most utilization and value out of the savings plans that you've purchased.
No, fantastic. So I really want to make sure that I'm obviously have utilization on what I purchased, right? So that's great. Earlier we talked about that, if I'm managing the budget and the savings and so on, that I can assign these to different scopes, such as subscription management groups. Can you show me how I would do that?
Yes. So as mentioned before, you can do it at purchase, but also say, again, your needs change, different decisions have been made, and you need to change the scope of where the savings plans could be applied to. Same thing, you stay in the savings plans that you want to focus in on, go to configuration under settings, and here you can change if you want to change the management group, the single subscription, or single resource group. So even post purchase, you have the option to change the scope of where this is being applied to.
Oh, this is fantastic. So I can really set and manage where I want to assign the saving plan to, if it's a different management group, subscription, or even resource group. So that is great. Now, one of the questions which comes up is, how does the Azure Savings Plan for Compute compare to reserved instances, and do they work together?
That's a great question. Reserved instances aren't going away. Reserved instances are more suited for stable, predictable workloads, while savings plans, as mentioned before, is more suited for dynamic workloads that have maybe planned or unplanned changes. The good news is that they can work together. RIs would be, say you have a fleet of RIs and savings plans. The RIs will be applied first to your compute environment because, again, RIs, there's more specific requirements, the VM series, the region, and operating system. And then once that's fully applied, anything that's left over of the compute usage will be picked up by the savings plans. So they work together. Again, different workloads work for RIs over savings plans, but again, they work together, and RIs are not going away.
Oh, fantastic. So I love that they're working together. So if I'm really stable and I know and can predict exactly what VM size I'm using for the next couple of years, I'm gonna probably use reserved instances. But if I want to have and need more flexibility, but still want to do the savings, I'm gonna basically use Azure Saving Plan, which makes it easier for me to see or to save money across different things I want to do. So that is fantastic. So Kyle, I'm excited about this, and I'm sure our viewers too. So if I want to learn more about this, where do I go?
That's a great question. So there is a URL that's going to be posted on this channel, and you click on there, and there we have the FAQs, breakdowns of how savings plans work. So I highly encourage you, anyone that's interested in savings plans, to go to that URL, look around. There's great information in there. So that would be a great first place to get started.
Okay, thank you very much, Kyle. This was absolutely great. And thank you to everyone watching. Make sure you check out aka.ms/adopt.